Hello, Baker. It's your mayor. Hope all is well. Hope your families are doing well. We are here tonight. I'm excited because with me I have Miss Mary Sue Stages, who is my finance director, who has been with me now, I think, since 2018. 2018, huh, Mary Sue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
17.
2017, we've been together. And I'm excited tonight because we want to talk to you about our recent audit and actually the last 4 audits. And I wanted you to understand, those of you in the audience, how important the audits are to a city. And she's going to also talk about the strength of the finances in the city of Baker. Thank you for being here. I know you're busy. How's your family?
They're doing great.
They're
doing great. Yes.
Yeah, and so you got a teenager too now, huh?
Yes, I
Driving.
do.
Yeah, yeah, I have that too. So we know what's going on.
Couple gray hairs.
Couple gray hairs. So I just appreciate you being here, and I know that they're gonna appreciate what you are about to show them.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, for the opportunity to talk to you about the most recently completed financial audit. The city received an unmodified opinion, which basically states that our financial statements are referred to or presented fairly in all material respects. It is, of course, the best opinion that you can have, so we're very proud of that. We're also very proud of the fact that we did not have any findings or management issues. The staff has worked really, really hard over the past couple years to get to this point, and we continue to work towards improving our processes and improving the financial reporting for the city of Baker. This is very important because when people take a look at our city, whether they want to invest here, they want to live here, they want to work here, it shows that the city is responsible. It helps us when we're looking for funding as far as grants goes or even private foundations. Again, it shows that we're fiscally responsible and we're a good investment. It impacts our credit rating and also impacts our ability to loans in order for capital infrastructure or other type of services that the city may need or want to improve on. The city has 2 different types of funds. We have our proprietary funds, which are financed by self-generated fees. It includes our utility fund, cemetery, and our city parish sewer revenue. This last one, the city parish sewer revenue, is where we receive fees from the city parish to include billing on our bills for their services. So what you see for our services is to get the sewer from your home, and then what you see from the city parish is to get it to the treatment plant and actually treat the sewage. We have governmental funds. Those are the ones that are financed by the fees, licenses, permits, sales tax. The city this past year, we had in assets, we had $23.1 million in assets for our governmental funds and $15.2 million in assets for our business type funds. The biggest piece of both of those, of course, are our capital assets, which is our infrastructure, all of our equipment, our buildings, our streets, bridges, the water system, the sewer system, the gas system. Next up on our, you'll see on your screen a slide of our revenues for the governmental funds. You'll see is our governmental fund revenues. The biggest piece of that is sales tax. The next are charges. The biggest piece of our charges is the garbage fee. And the mayor's going to tell you some innovative things that we've been doing to help y'all with your communication for garbage and recycling. The next slide shows what type of taxes make up that 66% of our income. And you'll see the majority of it, almost all of it, is sales tax. So the Chamber of Commerce, the city has all done little slogans and PSAs to tell you to shop Baker first. And this is why it's important, because a great majority of the revenue that funds the services of the city come from sales tax. The next slide is going to give you an idea of what we do with the money. You'll see a huge piece of that goes to public safety. That includes fire and police. The city has been fortunate enough to be recognized as one of the most safest cities. That's good for our businesses, it's good for our citizens and the quality of life that we lead here. The next biggest piece that of expenditures for the city is public works. Public works includes our infrastructure. Is so important for our economic development. It's so important for our citizens to be able to get around the city. It includes our drainage systems. It includes the buildings and grounds, keeping up with beautification so that our city presents itself well. And then in this most recent year, the next biggest piece was our capital outlay. That's not necessarily the case every year, but with this past year we added to our fleet for fire. We had a pumper and 4 fire engines, and we also completed our street rehab for 2019, which is overlaying those streets that require the most attention. And then a very important piece, not the biggest, but a very important piece, economic and recreational development. We spend a little over $500,000 in this area. And this is what keeps our city going. This is what attracts people to our city. It helps us to improve the services that we're able to give to our citizens. It builds parks, it builds sidewalks, and it brings businesses here. So it's a very important part to the city. So that's basically where we get our money, sales tax, and where we've spent our money on public safety. We're going to take a break right now, but please stay tuned and we're going to be right back.
If you own or are planning to start a business, you need to take a hard look at Baker, your one-stop shop for business, city licensing, services, and sensible tax rates. With low crime, it's a stone's throw from downtown Baton Rouge, the airport, and it's on the river with railways. Baker is not landlocked. Plank Road presents the traffic businesses need, and Main Street offers a hometown atmosphere. Baker and business are moving forward together. Are you looking to build or purchase a home? You need to take a hard look at Baker. Small town atmosphere that's good for families. Baker has everything you need. Shops, doctors, hospitals. It's near the airport and a stone's throw from downtown Baton Rouge. No traffic hassles and lots of community activities to be involved in. Ranked as one of the safest cities in Louisiana, Baker and families are moving forward together.
Welcome back. For this next segment, we're going to talk about how the school board and the city can work together. The mayor is often asked, what is the city doing to help the school board? The school board is a separate legal entity. It's got its own governing body. It creates its own policies. But there is something that we do have in common, and that is our significant revenue streams. And that's taxes. We saw before how much sales tax means to the city of Baker in funding its services. For the school board, that's property taxes, but then sales tax comes right behind that. Economic development is how you grow a city. It's how Baker moves forward. That economic development brings in sales tax. It increases the value of our property, so it brings in property taxes. This is where the city and the school board can work together, join our forces and our resources, because with that, each of us will benefit from increased revenues. Our sales tax, every time we make a dollar in sales tax, the school board will recognize 30% of that, or about 15 cents. So on sales tax is 64%, say, of our income. It's about 36% for the school board. In property tax, it sort of flips. It's about 15% for the city, but 85% of revenues for the school board. So if you look up on the slide, we're going to talk about how house and property are going to enhance the economic and the recreational opportunities for the city, and also the opportunities for the school board. On this next slide, while sales tax represents a significant revenue for the city, and the property tax would be considered still a material source for the city, but a significant piece for the school board, both of them benefit from both types of tax revenue. What you see there is what the city received in 2019 and 2020, and what the school board received, both in sales tax and property tax. It shows so much how important it is when we say shop Baker first. This is why it is so important for you to shop in Baker first. Whether you live here, you have a business here, you do work here, it's very, very important to consider Baker first. The next slide is a little bit about the sales tax. It just shows, again, how sales tax for the city and sales tax for the school board work hand in hand. It's almost one for one. So anytime we benefit, the school board benefits. The next slide shows our property taxes. You'll see, of course, that's the most significant for the school board, not as much for the city. But again, we benefit anytime that the school board benefits from increased property taxes, and that comes from development, whether it be economic development or recreational development. We talked before in the other segment about how the city has spent a little bit over $500,000 on economic development. Now that includes our efforts, it includes this show, it includes staff that works on economic development. And it's very, very important, as we said, for the strength of our city. It helps us with the ability to increase our services, to enhance our services, improve them, but also the quality of life. Because with economic development, you get recreational and community development. So we have parks, a place for our kids to go, a place for them to experience sports, whether it be a one-on-one type of sport or group sports. It also funds sidewalks. It funds bike paths, things for families to do together. Again, I can't tell you enough how important it is to shop Baker. The mayor talked about has been talking about the pork and rye that we have discussed over and over again, and we're still working really, really hard to bring that to fruition. And with that, you're going to see more businesses, you're going to see more people, and that's what we're hoping, to bring them into the city. Anytime we bring more people, we bring more businesses, we're going to help the city, we're going to help the school board. Besides streets and public safety, you'll see that our sales and our property taxes also fund a quality education. So when you shop Baker, you're not only supporting economic success of businesses that are located here, but you're also securing a viable community. You're supporting great streets, excellent fire and police protection. You're creating a place where you want to work and where you want to live. Again, I cannot impress upon you enough the importance of shopping Baker. Working here, living here, the services that you can receive, it all ties into the future growth of the city and moving us forward. There's so much more we could talk about what's going on in the city that will help both the city and the schools. Please go to the website. You can see the projects that we have coming up, the projects that we're working on right now. Keep updated through that, and we will be right back.
Are you looking to build or purchase a home? You need to take a hard look at Baker. Small town atmosphere that's good for families. Baker has everything you need. Shops, doctors, hospitals. It's near the airport and a stone's throw from downtown Baton Rouge. No traffic hassles and lots of community activities to be involved in. Ranked as one of the safest cities in Louisiana, Baker and families are moving forward together. If you own or are planning to start a business, you need to take a hard look at Baker. Your one-stop shop for business, city licensing, services, and sensible tax rates. With low crime, it's a stone's throw from downtown Baton Rouge, the airport, and it's on the river with railways. Baker is not landlocked. Plank Road presents the traffic businesses need, and Main Street offers a hometown atmosphere. Baker and business are moving forward together.
Welcome back, Baker. Now, I know that was interesting information that we put out. A lot of people always talking about, they're always asking me, Mayor, how are you getting those grants and everything that's going on? But it's based on those audits, and those audits are very, very important. One of the things that we've learned. So Ms. Stages does a great job with that. Let's talk a little bit about economic development. I just wanted to go in and talk a little bit about that. My economic development coordinator has done a good job with putting these slides together, and we want just to explain a couple of things to you and show you how important it is when you run in the city and how important economic development is. What is economic development? It's actually a process that influences growth and restructuring of the economy. It's the engine that creates jobs, and it creates an atmosphere for business growth. And basically, this is what a community needs to function for long term. How do we influence that growth? And that's the another thing. How do we do that? By enacting policies and building programs, and marketing in our neighborhood, and business retention is key. And when you talk about that, we've had the best numbers when it come to business retention. Technology is real important when you come to that. So that's how we influence the growth and the restructuring of the economy that's going on. How do we influence the restructuring of the economy is what I'm talking about. And we talked about the policies and the programs to provide the services. But those services have to work together with what the city is doing. They have to understand what's going on with the city, the plan. We're talking about managing roads and managing parks and providing medical access. And that's one of the things that we are real serious about in this administration right now, the medical footprint of the city of Baker. And we're working on that right now to change that. How do we influence growth and restructuring of an economy? The government undertakes to meet broad economic objectives, including improving economic activities and sustainable growth. Infrastructure is a big part of that. If you have a good infrastructure, you can influence the restructuring of the economy and the growth of the economy and how your city looks. And that's why we work on with code enforcement to keep it clean and where it's marketable, so people want to come, they want to invest in what's going on in the city of Baker. Let's talk a little bit about our plan for the next 2 years. And I know it's kind of light, but I just want to talk about it, our economic development plan. Infrastructure is always going to be the key. We probably going to spend our most money in infrastructure to build the city up for the future. And when we talk about that, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about for the future, not what's happening today, what's going to happen 10, 15 years from now. And because infrastructure has to be updated all the time. Quality of life is always important for the city of Baker. In my administration, we always are working for that to make sure that your quality of life is the best it could be, and that we provide everything we need to give you the best quality of life as you live in Baker. Transportation, we're working on that. Mass transportation is important to me. And understand that mass transportation is not just for poor people. Mass transportation help you build business. It brings business to your area. It allows people to come into your area where they can shop. And the transit center is part of that. That is the plan to create that environment where people are coming in and out of Baker, they're spending money in Baker, and then they decide that they want to live in Baker. Marketing and development is a big plan that we're doing. This show is part of that we market our city. We want everybody to know what type of city we are and what we do in our city and our culture. We're not trying to change who we are in the city of Baker. We're just telling you, this is who we are. If you want to be a part of that, come join us. Redevelopment. We're trying to redevelopment and restructure how the city looks in these historical that we have, Leland College, the Leland community, these areas where we have the history of Baker. We're trying to redevelop that. And business retention and expansion is always important. That is Becky's, that is her objective throughout, to make sure that we maintain business and we bring the businesses that we need for this area. We want to create a good business climate. We make it easy for you to come and start a business in Baker, and we want to continue to do that. And most of all, we want to have tourism. We want people to come and see what we have, to be able to walk around and give them something to remember when they come here. And maybe they'll come back and buy a house or start a business or just donate $1 million. And so you guys know I be dreaming all the time, but it is what it is. And that's the way I think. Workforce development is a big deal. We just hired a workforce development coordinator. We want to create job opportunities and careers for the people who live in Baker. We want our kids to come back and be able to live here and grow up and build their family here also. And also neighborhood revitalization. It's important, and we're going to work through that. We're spending a lot of money on that. I just can't understand why we have neighborhoods with sidewalks and some neighborhoods that don't have sidewalks, and those are some of the things that we're looking at. But most of all, when it comes to our neighborhoods and our communities, we want to make sure that they're clean and that they look well, and they give us an environment where people are happy to be here, where the neighbors come out and work together, and it's always going to be better for Baker when we decide to do that. So that is our plan for economic development. That is what we're doing. Everything that we focused on is always going to be about these objectives that we've talked about. We're going to spend your money and our money to be able to do that. We always have to be ahead of what's going on right now. If you want to know what's going on with Darnell Waste, my philosophy is that I need to be planning for the future. And once again, we want to talk about communication. People always talk about, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. So we have this communication system in place. We want you to join. Text LA Baker updates to 468-311. It's very important, so you'll know what's going on in your city. And this it goes out to your phone, it goes to your email, if that's what you want to do. And make sure that everybody in your house has this communication system coming to them. We've had storms and all type of ice storms. There's information that is not going to go out on social media. All right, and in some cases, we're not going to get out in social media. So we want you guys to know what's going on in the city of Baker. So look, it is always my pleasure to share information with you. And for those of you who live in Baker, and even those of you who live on the outside of Baker, we are working hard to let you know that Baker is moving forward every day. And as long as we stay together, we will always be Baker strong. You guys have a great evening, and I love y'all. I'll see you the next time. Bye.